So today's the day when you get to find out where it is that you voted for me to go while I was in Philadelphia. Drum roll, please. The Mutter Museum. So the Mutter Museum is the one that won. And you might be saying to yourself, what is the Mutter Museum? About 75 years after Benjamin Franklin's death, Dr. Thomas Mutter, who was a surgeon in Philadelphia, decided to donate all of the specimens that he acquired during his different surgeries to a museum so that other doctors could study them and become better at their job. First walk into the museum, everything is marble. It's absolutely beautiful. And at the very top of the stairs, you see a Greek god. And that Greek god is the one that's known for medicine and healing. The name begins with an A. Can you find it? If you find it, put it in the comments below. He's got a pretty cool story. If you walk up the stairs, there's this really cool meeting room and a bunch of different portraits on the walls. There's even a room specifically designated for research. It's kind of cool. When you go back downstairs, you end up seeing the actual museum. Now, you're not allowed to take pictures when you're in the museum because the different specimens that are there actually belong to family members who have said that they don't want people just randomly taking pictures. So some of the pictures I have are the ones that I found on the internet, but you can always go to this website, and that website will give you more pictures because these are the ones that the families have okayed. The first thing I want to talk to you about, Einstein's brain. How cool is it that a museum has Einstein's brain, especially when you hear the story? So Einstein's brain was removed 7 hours after his death, and it was practically hidden by the guy who did it. He took it, sliced it up into 4 pieces, and started to study it because he wanted to see what was different about Einstein's brain than a regular brain. What they discovered is that Einstein has a fold missing in the back of his head, and what they're suspecting is that maybe that caused his memory to be greater than what a normal person's memory would be. Now, the second thing I'd like to talk to you about is the story of Chang and Ang, Siamese twins. A long time ago, the country of Thailand was called Siam, and during that time period, Chang and Ang were born. They were conjoined at the stomach. Their one liver was actually shared. In 1811, they were born. In 1829, they decided to tour and speak about their experience. While on tour, they were discovered and they were invited to come back and be part of a circus. So back in the 1800s, circuses were not like how they are now. The people that entered the circus world were ones that were considered freaks. They had something different about their bodies that nobody else had, so they were able to exploit that for money. Chang and Ang being conjoined twins and the only ones in the world, once they got on the circus circuit, they definitely made some serious bank. They decided to stay in the United States. They ended up getting married and they ended up having children. As you can imagine, after a certain period of time, they started arguing a lot because they were getting older and a little bit cranky. Unfortunately, one of them became really sick and passed away. And when one died, the other one died immediately afterwards. Their last request was to be buried together. Okay, the next thing I wanted to talk to you about was real life horns. Did you know that people can grow horns? I didn't know this and it freaked me out when I saw the picture. So I guess back in 1588 was the first documented time when somebody had a horn growing from their head. To this day, nobody's actually sure what it is that causes the horn to grow. They're not sure if it's from a bone spur or if it's from a wart, but yeah, totally freaky. So here are some pictures of real life horns that people can have. And last but not least, let's talk about super cool things that have happened in medicine. So Madame Curie, so awesome. She's the first female to win the Nobel Peace Prize, and she won 2. She was credited with being one of the first people to work towards a cure for cancer. She understood radioactivity, and she even harmed herself to be able to help other people. So the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is the iron lung. The iron lung is pretty much the very first system for life support. When you go into an iron lung, it changes the air pressure so you don't have to breathe on your own. The machine is helping you breathe. It's a little painful though, unlike what it is that they use for life support today. They rocked the iron lung during the polio pandemic. And if you take a look at some old pictures, you'll see tons of kids kept in iron lungs because the vaccine hadn't been invented yet. So I really hope you like the overview of the Mutter Museum. Good job with this vote. I'm curious to see where it is that you want me to go for Washington, D.C. That's going to be happening next. All right, have a great night. Bye.